Far from Chile's coast, deep in the Pacific Ocean, there's only water all around. In this vast sea, there's a small island known as Easter Island. Its fame isn't due to its name or isolation, but the giant statues found there. On this remote Pacific island, who made these thousands of massive statues? Aliens or humans like us? Welcome back to It was 1722, about 300 years ago, when European explorer Jacob Roggeveen accidentally landed here. He saw stone statues on the island, standing with their backs to the sea. These statues looked like giants, skillfully carved from stone. Jacob was amazed by the sight and began exploring the island further. It turned out the island was filled with hundreds of statues, not just a few. Some were standing, while many lay fallen on the ground. The explorer arrived on this island on Easter Sunday, which is why it was named Easter Island. Back then, few people lived here and called it Rapa Nui, but who made these statues, when and why? Even the locals didn't know. From that day on, archaeologists and experts started visiting the island. Some came just to see this mysterious place, while others tried to uncover the secrets behind the statues. After 300 years of research, archaeologists have found evidence suggesting Easter Island is so isolated that its nearest neighbor, Pitcairn Island, is 2,075 kilometers away. No one lives here. The closest inhabited island, Mangareva, with 500 people, is 2,600 kilometers away. Easter Island is Chilean territory, 3,512 kilometers from Chile's coast. Today, you can only reach it by plane, which takes 5 hours from Chile. This island, about the size of a normal city, has around 1,000 large statues called Moai. Some of these statues have eyes, while others were made without them. Their long noses, sharp chins, flat heads and elongated faces give them a unique appearance. It's estimated these statues were created in the 13th century, about 700 years ago. Many statues stand proudly along the island's coastline, complete with bodies, while others are just faces lying on the ground. However, in 2012, an excavation unveiled a surprising truth. It was discovered that not only their faces but their entire bodies were buried underground. The tallest statue stands at 33 feet, equivalent to the length of a passenger bus. Its weight is reportedly 90,000 kilograms. Lifting it is out of the question. Even moving it might require 500 people. That's how massive it is. A shocking discovery was made when researchers found an unfinished statue during their work. Experts estimate its height at 70 feet and its completed weight around 300 tons. Carving statues from stone and transporting such heavy objects across the island seems like an impossible task for humans to accomplish. For years, people believed aliens must have done this work, but modern research has completely disproven this theory. Scientists and archaeologists have found evidence that these statues were made from volcanic ash stone from the island's volcano. This work was actually done right here on the island. As an experiment, when they tried to carve just the statue's outline on stone, it took a full 3 days. This work was done using a special tool that people in ancient times used to cut stone. Experts believe it would take a team of 12 workers at least a year to build a full-size statue. Looking at these completed statues here, it was estimated that they were carved from large stones. The statue was shaped by doing extensive work on the stone. After the upper portion was completed, it was separated from the stone. The research team understood the carving process, but it was very difficult to fathom how such heavy statues would have been transported several kilometers from the volcano site to different parts of the island. After all, one statue weighs about as much as 14 elephants. Even today, this work seems impossible without the help of machines. To find out, several statues were examined that were lying along the road. All these fallen statues had one thing in common. The statues that were seen lying on a slope were face down, while fallen statues on an incline were found face up. It's clear that these statues were in a standing position during transport, but fell and broke in transit. Experts believe the statues were balanced and moved using ropes, then walked upright. The statues were transported this way to various locations on the island. To prove this, a concrete replica was made and balanced by tying ropes on 3 sides. When pulled from one side at an angle, the statue began to move in an amazing way. The replica was moved 50 feet this way, showing how Easter Islanders likely transported the statues. But one last mystery remained unsolved. Who were these people that created 1,000 statues, and what happened here? It turns out they abandoned the completed statues. A study revealed that 17,500 Polynesians inhabited Rapa Nui or Easter Island, arriving around 300 AD, an astonishing 1,700 years ago. Back then, the island looked entirely different from today. Researchers found evidence of 25 distinct palm species, with palm trees being the most abundant. If such a dense forest existed here, where did it go? Researchers believe large-scale deforestation took place. It's thought that the palm tree forest was useless to the arriving inhabitants since they were farmers. They needed land to cultivate crops and space to erect the statues. Perhaps that's why they deliberately destroyed the forest with their own hands. Large-scale deforestation destroys the entire ecosystem. This effect is like a slow poison, as happened here. At first, they didn't notice, but over time, the land became barren. This led to food shortages for the island's inhabitants. Eventually, conflict broke out among the people. Human bones found on the island show signs of injury. This proves a civil war occurred, targeting mostly women. The population declined due to fewer women on Easter Island. Finally, survivors migrated elsewhere. Today, Easter Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its giant stone statues are so incredible, it's hard to believe humans made them. Were they for religious purposes or something else? Researchers have theories, but what do you think? Please comment below. I hope you'll like and share this video.